Hello students, welcome back to our chemistry class. Today we shall discuss about NCERT solutions of indexed questions for chapter number 3 metals and non-metals. Let's move on to the questions. First we will discuss from page number 40. Question is, give an example of a metal which is liquid at room temperature. Children, can you tell me the answer? Answer is mercury. And give an example of a metal which can be easily cut with a knife. Answer is sodium. Next one, give an example of a metal which is the best conductor of heat. Answer is silver. Finally, give an example of a poor conductor of heat. Answer is lead. Let's move on to question number 2. Explain the meanings of malleable and ductile. A metal that can be beaten into thin sheets on hammering is called malleable substances, whereas ductile means a substance which can be drawn into thin wires. So one thing is a substance which can be beaten into thin sheets, that is called malleability or malleable substances, and substance which can be drawn into thin wires, they are called ductile substances, and these properties are called malleability and ductility. Next we will discuss from page number 46. Question is, why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? Answer is, sodium is highly reactive, so it is kept immersed in kerosene oil to prevent its reaction with oxygen, moisture and carbon dioxide of air to prevent accidental fires. That's because of the reason we immerse sodium in kerosene oil. Next we have, write equations for the reactions of iron with steam and calcium and potassium with water. Answer is, first one, iron with steam, 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2. And calcium and potassium with water, Ca plus H2O, that is 2H2O gives CaOH twice plus H2. Whereas in case of potassium with water, 2K plus 2H2O gives 2KOH plus H2 plus heat. Next we have samples of 4 metals A, B, C and D were taken and added to the following solutions one by one. The results obtained have been tabulated as follows. Metal ABCD, iron sulfate, copper sulfate, zinc sulfate and silver nitrate are the solutions. Now if we add metal A, B, C and D into these solutions, what are the changes takes place? No reaction takes place in case of A, C and D when it is put in iron 2 sulfate, and displacement reaction takes place when A is put in copper sulfate solution, and no reaction takes place when C and D put in copper sulfate solution, and B, C and D when it is put in zinc sulfate solution, no reaction takes place, and when C is put in silver nitrate, displacement reaction takes place, and with D, no reaction takes place. Now let's see the questions. Use the above table to answer the following questions about metals A, B, C and D. Which is the most reactive metal? Answer is, B is the most reactive metal because it gives displacement reaction with the iron 2 sulfate. Second one, what would you observe if B is added to a solution of copper 2 sulfate? Answer is, when metal B is added to copper 2 sulfate solution, a displacement reaction will take place due to which the blue color of copper to sulfate solution will fade and a red-brown deposit of copper will be formed on metal B. And third question is, arrange metals A, B, C and D in the order of decreasing reactivity. Answer is, metal B is the most reactive because it displaces iron from its salt solution. Metal A is less reactive because it displaces copper from its salt solution. Metal C is less reactive because it can displace only silver from its salt solution, and metal D is least reactive because it cannot displace any metal from its salt solution. Hence, the decreasing order of reactivity of metals is B, A, C and D. So therefore, D is the least reactive metal. Let's move on to the next question. Which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metal? Write the chemical reaction when iron reacts with the dilute H2SO4. Answer is, hydrogen gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to reactive metal. Chemical reaction when iron reacts with dilute H2SO4 is Fe plus H2SO4 gives FeSO4 plus H2. Next we have, what would you observe when zinc is added to a solution of iron to sulfate? Write the chemical reaction that takes place. Answer is, zinc is more reactive than iron. Therefore, when zinc is added to a solution of iron to sulfate, then the greenish color of iron to sulfate solution fades gradually due to the formation of colorless zinc sulfate solution and iron metal is deposited on zinc. Equation for the reaction is FeSO4 plus Zn gives ZnSO4 plus Fe. Next we have questions from page number 49. Write the electron dot structures for sodium, oxygen and magnesium. Answer is, in the electron dot structures, we will be mentioning only the valence shell electron. So in case of sodium having an electronic configuration of 281, one electron will be put. And in case of oxygen, 286 and the valence electrons are 6. And in case of magnesium, we have electronic configuration 282. So the valence electrons are 2 and we will be mentioning 2 dots above magnesium. Next we have question number 2. Show the formation of N2O and MgO by the transfer of electrons. Formation of N2O and MgO are, in the first case, sodium will lose its outermost electron of 1 electron to oxygen. Since oxygen need 2 electrons, 2 sodium are required. So both the sodium will lose its 1 electron to oxygen and it will form Na positive and O2 negative. Whereas in case of MgO, magnesium has 2 electrons in the valence shell. So it will lose all the 2 electrons to oxygen and it will form Mg2 plus and O2 negative. Next we have, what are the ions present in these compounds? In Na2O, ions present are Na positive and O2 negative. In MgO, ions present are Mg2 positive and O2 negative. Next question, why do ionic compounds have high melting points? Answer is, ionic compounds are made up of positive and negative ions. There is a strong force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions. So, a lot of heat energy is required to break this force of attraction and melt the ionic compound. Due to this, ionic compounds have high melting points. Let's move on to the next question. Next we will discuss from page number 53. Question is, define the terms mineral, ore and gangue. First one is mineral. The natural materials in which the metals or their compounds are found in earth are called minerals. Or Those minerals from which metals can be extracted conveniently and profitably are called ores. And the last one is gangue. The unwanted impurities like sand, rocky material, earth particles, limestone, mica, etc. in an ore is called gangue. Gangue is actually the impurities or unwanted substances, we can say. Next we have question number 2. Name 2 metals which are found in nature in free state. Answer is gold and platinum, because they are least reactive metals. Because of that they found in the free state. Next we have, what chemical process is used for obtaining a metal from its oxide? Answer is reduction process is used for obtaining a metal from its oxide. For example, zinc oxide is reduced by metallic zinc by heating with carbon. ZnO plus C gives Zn plus CO. Besides carbon, highly reactive metals like sodium, calcium, aluminum, etc. are used as reducing agents. These displace metals of low reactivity from their oxides. For example, Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives Fe plus Al2O3 plus heat. So either we can use carbon for reduction, or you can use highly reactive metals. Next we have question number 2. Which metals do not corrode easily? Answer is again gold and platinum, because they are least reactive metals, or we can say they are noble metals. Next we have, what are alloys? An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more metals or a metal and a non-metal. For example, bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. So students, with this we have completed the indexed questions of chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. In the next module, we will be discussing the chapter end questions. Thank you and have a nice day.